Oh dear. I'm very distraught ever since I lost that thing that I used to use to set up my phone. We got a lot to cover, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm non-binary folk alike. I always stutter on that. I'll give people a second. I wonder if there's something else I should grab. I don't know. I guess my Switch. I could show you guys my Animal Crossing town. I could show you guys. That's actually a good thing to do right now. Jesus. The cough was so powerful. Okay, well, this is very weak, not stable, but how was your last day of school, bestie? That's exactly what we're about to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Boys and girls and non-binary folk alike. Today, it is time to talk about a new chapter of life. Something very special has happened today. And that special thing is that it is my last day of school. Ever. Excluding college. I had my last day of school today, and that is pretty freaking crazy. Slay, yeah! Finished all my exams, passed all my classes somehow, and returned my stupid Chromebook. Hated that thing. Having my backpack on without the Chromebook in it was... I'm convinced God is real now. So that's a thing that happened. And the Chromebook, I hated that thing. Gosh, it was so heavy and it sucked. It wasn't that bad, but it was annoying. Like, the feeling that I got after letting it go. Freedom, dude. Freedom. It's giving growing up. Dude, I'm so hyped. Let me tell you guys. This wasn't actually a plan at all to stream, but then I had the thought, and it's like, oh, it totally makes sense that I would stream this, and I should stream this. Today we're going to talk about how my next chapter of life... I am amazed. These streams basically started with me playing video games on my Wii and PlayStation 2, which I do plan to return to eventually, but now I can't even say when that might be. And I gotta say, you've all graduated. I got one more year. Okay, I haven't graduated, but I had my last day of school. You don't graduate on the last day of school. You in a week, I graduate. Less than a week, actually, on Thursday. That's super exciting. I have my cap and gown. The gown has information on it, so I won't be showing that, but I can't show my cap. I can show me wearing the cap. Ugh. Okay. Look at me, a true graduate, ladies and gentlemen. It kind of looks funny, to me, but... Wow, look at me, all grown up. I guess. I don't know what happened to my throat. I guess I was quiet all day, and now all of a sudden I'm talking, and it's like whiplash from my throat. But I was gonna wear that the whole stream, but that's kind of ridiculous. I don't want to wear it out or anything. Actually, a better thing to wear for the whole stream, I'll show you guys right here. Did you watch The Owl House? I haven't watched it. I plan to eventually, but that's a long-term thing because I'm not particularly interested in it. That kind of stuff isn't super my thing. But here. Do you want to guess why this is so fitting today? You want to... Oh! Want to guess what's happening, ladies and gents? I hate this thing. You want to guess what's going on? We're going to Hello? We're going to Disney World. We're going to not Disney World. I'm going to Disneyland for one day tomorrow. In 24 hours, I will be in Disneyland, California Adventure. Man, let me explain to you what's going on. So I'm only going for a day, but it's going to be fun. And here's the deal. My school is hosting a grad night. So, many months ago, I paid the money, and now we are finally doing it tomorrow. I had to wake up at about 3 a.m., 2:30 a.m. So that'll be exciting. Then we ride a bus like 5 hours to Anaheim or something, and then we go and go to Disneyland, and it'll be super exciting. And we'll have the park until like 2 a.m. on Sunday. So that is gonna be awesome. And we could just like, I don't have a group to go with necessarily, but dude, it's Disneyland. I don't need a group. Like, and I'm bringing my own money. Well, okay, we have a group, obviously. We're not just running around unsupervised. But, like, we have park hoppers, and, like, most of us are adults, too. Not me, because I'm a late birthday in June. But, like, most of us are adults. We kind of just, we can walk around, you know, as Disney. You would do whatever. Like, it's fine. So I don't know exactly how it's going to go, but I'm assuming, based on what they said, we might have little groups, or we might be able to just wander around. LMAO child, you are younger, all right? I know for a fact you are. I know for a fact. All right, so, bro, my birthday's in August. God, I hate having a late birthday, but it's kind of nice, actually, especially in June. I got, like, the halfway mark, so you get... Every 6 months you get presents because you get June, my birthday, and then Christmas. Anyways, that's weird. Last year was my birthday's in November. Imagine being 17, baby. You are baby. Imagine saying that, girl. Come on. Mine's in October. I say girl as like a gender neutral term, by the way, which sounds weird, but like, you know what I mean. I say dude too as like a gender neutral term. And fella. I say a lot of things. Fella. You're younger than everyone here. I know. My birthday deadass in the beginning of school. Like, where's that cutoff date, too? Like, I can't imagine people with, like, August and September birthdays, like... Usually August is when school starts for people, but... I'm 14. I'm pretty sure I'm the youngest. I think, like, man, I remember when I was 14, I was an asshole. 13 and 14 were my peak asshole years. I was the worst person. Breath of the Wild time. So my birthdays are always the best in my opinion. They're fun, dude. They're fun. My birthday is the cutoff date. That's why I'm doomed to be the youngest always. Yeah. But I mean, hey, at least you kind of get to skip ahead if your birthday was like a day later or before or whichever. It would have been like you would have been a whole grade lower. Can you imagine that? I'm gonna be a sophomore. Oh my god, dude! I have a couple friends who are gonna be sophomores next year. That's crazy to me. And like I'm all grown up, and it's like we've kind of grown up together for a few years, and that's so sweet. I can't believe it. That is so. Oh my god! Oh my god! That's crazy. Okay. Anyways, we were talking about Disneyland. We were talking about a lot of stuff actually. This has no organization whatsoever. This is gonna be crazy to look back on. Which. I just want to say this real quick. I want to throw it out there. Don't worry too much about the past or the future, like, just in general. Like, obviously, you got to plan for stuff, but, like, don't dwell on the past and don't freak out about the future. Focus on the present. I feel like that's what a lot of people fail to do. I've kind of learned that recently, like, that's recently as in, like, the past few years. Like, that's so important to focus on the present and try to enjoy what you have now. Because, like, otherwise you're just gonna, like, you're gonna go through this endless cycle of missing old times. And I feel like full-grown adults never learned that lesson, which is kind of sad. Like, they keep saying, you need to enjoy the time that you have now because when you're an adult, nothing's fun anymore. First of all, why are you trying to feed information to literal impressionable children that their lives are just going to be over the moment they're 18? You can enjoy life as an adult. What a depressing way to go into life. Like, you don't have to project your problems on your kids. Please don't do that. Don't project your problems on other people, all right? Like, even for me, it's been a habit. Like, I see someone struggling the similar way that I used to, and I'm like, oh, it's this, it's that. You had to deal with it this or that way. Like, I can give advice like, hey, this worked for me. Maybe it'll work for you, but I know it might not, you know? But yeah, that is a habit of mine that I'm trying to break, especially when, like, it comes to, like, kids They're very impressionable. So I hate how adults raise their kids sometimes. But anyways, we're not talking about that today. We are here to talk about positive things. The reason I started thinking about past, present, future, and whatnot, I started thinking about like 2 years ago. Actually, yeah, like 2 years ago exactly. Like in like spring 2020, I was doing a lot of streams, and it was becoming really depressing for me because I was suffering not only burnout but also like I had this like realization that I thought was a realization. It wasn't true, but like I felt that way. So I was like, no one actually cares about me or these streams, which is not true. And I see that now. But at the time, I was like, I was in a messed up place. And like streams were like my best coping mechanism. They still are like a great coping mechanism for me. They're a great way for me to connect with people and get all the energy out and talk. But I needed to acknowledge that sometimes in the past, like people just don't know what to say in the chat. Or like even if people aren't talking, people are still listening. You know what I mean? And that's what I needed to realize, but it was hard to see that. So, been through that before many times. Yeah, it's a sucky feeling. You don't want to get trapped in that because that was the worst. And then I got like super obsessed with, oh, well, eventually I'll look back on this time and it'll be better. So then I started getting really obsessed with that in the future. And like every waking moment, I was just wishing that it would skip ahead to a couple years later. And that sucked. Like living in that state is so miserable. So worry about what you got now, okay? Like plan for the future if you want. Obviously reflect on the past. Important stuff, right? But present is the most important thing that you have right now, all right? Most important thing that you got right now. Cherish it, all right? Always cherish the present. If you're having a crappy day, I mean, you're having a crappy day. I understand that. But you know, in general, you know what I mean? So yeah, just want to get that out of the way. We were talking about something before all that, but I don't know. It's crazy, like, I do look forward to, like, looking back on streams sometimes, but I don't obsess over it anymore, thank God. I don't even know how I got over that. Like, I guess, like, YouTube took my streaming privileges away, and then, like, I took such a long break. Not saying that I'm glad for what YouTube did. That was angering, but, being forced into a break allowed me to like step away from it for real. And when it comes to planning to the future, I feel like a lot of people don't think about what they can do now to get to that future. Exactly. You're so right, actually. You are so right about that. I didn't even think about it that way. Like, you got to think about what you got to do now to get to that future. Everyone like sees it as a blur, their future as like a blur of, okay, I'll get a job. I'll get like, it's good to start places, you know, but you gotta think about what you can do now to contribute to that, because everyone sees their future as like a separate life and like a separate, like it's a huge new chapter in your life, but it's still your life and it's still your choices, and it's all up to you really at the end of the day. So you gotta make choices for yourself and like be mindful about what you're doing now. But yeah, good stuff, good life lessons. Love to give those life lessons on these streams. Those have become really common actually, and I'm pretty glad. I hope I haven't said some dumb stuff in the past. I'm sure I have. But I'm worried that some stuff I've said that has stuck with people that shouldn't have. That's the thing with like being young and being on the internet. So be careful what you say. Think before you speak. I always try to make sure I stay focused on the present. Always try my best to do things I'm passionate about. I want to be a screenwriter and cinematographer when I'm older. You go chase that dream. I believe in you. I've been thinking about that too. Like, my dream is to be like a voice actor, to be like a theater person, you know, just acting and stuff like that. Sadly, I didn't get like the full theater experience that I wanted to in middle or high school. I didn't even have it in middle school, but I wish I had gotten more. I really wish that I got more, but sadly, I really only experienced it for 1 year. That was sophomore year. And it was a fun year. I wish I experienced theater way more, but I did not. So that is unfortunate. But basically, that happened. So one thing I will never do is take a job that I would be miserable at. I'm not going to do something that won't make me happy. Yeah, for sure. Don't like actively take a job that's going to make you miserable. That is not good. Not good at all. Setting yourself up for failure there. Oh, man. Okay. Alright, I swear, you would be an amazing voice actor. Thank you. And I would, here's the thing. Fellas, let me tell you something. I actually am still planning to do stuff in LPS form and, like, LPS videos, but, like, a long-term thing. And like Simon said earlier, I don't want to like make it a thing where it's like a blur and it's just like I'll do that eventually. Like I get not planning it out exactly right now, but I have to do something right now to make it possible. So if I want my videos to be better, I need to like start actually looking into cameras. I need to actually watch LPS videos from people that I like, whose quality that I look up to, and I need to look into them and see what they do, how they do that, look up tutorials. I have to do that. That is going to be my first step right there. There you go. Step making is important in achieving a goal. And another thing, I have actually been contributing to those future LPS videos because I haven't thought much about skits and stuff, and I think that's a big reason why LPS videos had to be put on hold for like a long while, because when I think of LPS videos, I mainly just think of the series that I want to make, and those are long-term projects. However, I've been working on them. I worked on them a lot today. Behind Closed Doors is really going places. It's watch Copycat by Oakstar. It's a must. The cinematography is amazing and the voice acting as well. Thank you for letting me know. I'll look into that. Copycat by Oakstar. Thank you for suggesting that. I don't know if there's anything in here that I can really say out in the open without spoiling stuff. I have had problems lately recognizing what's a spoiler and what's not. Some things are like, you need context for them to be spoilers, you know? Like they're technically spoilers, but without context, you can't even really tell what it is from an outside perspective. So, let's see. Oakstar LPS. Oh, I got it. I feel like I've heard of that before. Definitely have. I'll watch it though. I'll look into it. Let's see. What are we looking at? That might be in my watch later, maybe. I don't know. My watch later has become an absolute disaster. There's over 1,000 videos. It didn't help when I got into Deltarune. That really added to it. That really added to the chaos. And then I just had all these Deltarune videos in my watch later. Let's see here. The Undertale and Deltarune phase is still going strong. The Deltarune has been overpowering Undertale because of my unhealthy Spamton obsession. However, I still acknowledge and love Undertale, and I consider it still one of my obsessions today. My interests, the first things I think of when I think of like my interests today, Undertale, Deltarune, Splatoon, and BoJack Horseman. Those are like the 4 things that invade my brain most of the time. Splatoon is really fun. Spamton and Jevil, yes! Supremacy, yes! I love them. And oh my gosh! Queen and Chris. Those are, okay, my top 3 favorites in Deltarune. Spamton, Queen, Chris. God, Queen, man! Queen! I love Queen! I need to continue BoJack later. Yes, I need to continue Amphibia. I'm trying to make it a goal to watch one thing from my watch later every day, watch one episode of a show every day, and watch like one thing from all my saved playlists. I have so many like saved playlists on YouTube that are like LPS series or Let's Plays. I'm so bad at Let's Plays. I'm so bad at them. But the other day, I just randomly returned to a Barnyard Let's Play I was watching by Jack and Lev, which I've mentioned on streams a couple times. It's really funny. I love it. Apparently, those two don't do YouTube anymore, which is kind of sad, but I like their Barnyard Let's Play. And they also did a Hit and Run Let's Play at some point, so I gotta watch that. I love Hit and Run. I do suggest Simpsons Hit and Run to people, but the hard thing about that is it's on consoles that everyone's moved on from, and that's why, like, I wish things like that would get big again so that we could demand, like to get it on, like, Switch, or not Switch, that's not a Nintendo thing, but, like, on, freaking updated consoles and stuff. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be Nintendo. We could just, whatever. I was getting mixed up. But basically, I really want Wario Land Shake It 2. Like, not 2 as in a sequel, but just also. Also, Wario Land Shake It is so good. I love it so much. I love that game. It's so pretty and, like, so creative and cool and fun and yet simple at the same time, and it's got like all these optional missions and treasures that you can get if you want to, which I'm still working on that one day. Dude, I'm gonna have such a journey to look back on when I finished Wario Land Shake It. 100%. That's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be the day that I die. I'm just gonna pass out right there in the chair. And you know what, guys? I need to look into streaming equipment too. I have to. Did you say Nintendo Switch is not a Nintendo system? You misunderstood. But that's not your fault because I'm dumb and I word things stupidly. So I meant like, it's a whole thing, okay? I'm not even gonna get into it because then I'll spend 30 minutes trying to explain it. I'm bad at explaining things, but let's see. As you could see, how's Jess Petty going? Jess Petty's going good. However, I've been like focusing a lot of my energy on Behind Closed Doors. It just kind of depends on what I'm in the mood for. But I could tell you guys all about the 3 main series that I've been working on. Behind Closed Doors, Just Petty, and Prime of Your Life. I think I mentioned them all on stream, but just in case you don't know, Just Petty's Camp Riverwood, Behind Closed Doors comes from Fabulous Fables, and Prime of Your Life comes from Abnormal Pain. So those are the new names for all of them. BCD is literally one of my favorites. Yes, I've been thinking about that series lately, and like, God, I'm so disappointed. Like, Mindy and Matilda's dad, I was so attached to them both, and now I don't like either of them anymore at all. Mindy had a right to be angry at her sister, but she would invalidate her trauma and like try to say it was her fault for being neglected by her family. Scarlett, though, I love Scarlett. I still love her. She was like the only non-problematic one in the series. She was like, Chris was kind of innocent, but like not at first. He was like, I don't know, Chris. I don't remember exactly what he did, but he was just like, he and Matilda were not in a good relationship. I don't know why I was happy when they got back together. She kind of fine, to be honest. You want to see a drawing of Scarlett? I could show you a drawing, and then you can like see. Like, that's one thing I'm a little concerned about is I feel like I've always had a problem with like feeling like I'm not living to my full potential, and I worry that when I release it as an LPS series, people will be like, oh, but you can draw them and you like want to animate, like you could live to your full potential. Look, I just want to do it with LPS. You know, it could be such a long-term thing to do with animation. I have other projects that I plan to do with like an animation team in the future, but for now, I like these the way they are. Okay, hold on. Edna fan club. Edna! She's doing so much better now as a character. Let's talk about that bunny. She gives off woke energy. Eliza, she's so different now. Like, I basically applied her personality to Bridget from Prime of Your Life. Now Bridget's like more confident and she can like tell when something's wrong. And she thinks she's woke, which is actually super fitting because the characters in Prime of Your Life have all been aged down, so they're in 6th grade now, because I wanted to do a middle school series. I don't know why I didn't do one back in the day when I was literally in middle school and knew what it was like. Like, the dialogue would have been so realistic, because it would have been coming from an actual middle schooler, and yet I did all these high school series, and then they would be super outlandish and ridiculous and unrealistic. But, yeah, okay. Oh boy. So I have a paper here of some drawings. However, they're not necessarily just the BCD characters. They're like, their designs are slightly altered. I need to see the updated LPS cast for the characters so I can collect them. Okay, a lot of my LPS are packed right now, actually. But all the LPS are pretty much the same in BCD, except Scarlett has been changed to 556. I think that's the number. And Hazel is going to be 2118. This is a great thing about adulthood. I can save up money and I can finally like buy stuff on my own. I have bought stuff, but it was like with technically my parents' money, and I just did chores and like, I don't know, it just wasn't the same. But now I feel like I can really like do things on my own. I'm really excited for the sense of control, you know? Like, I know adulthood's gonna be hard, but there are good things to adulthood, and I wish like adults would talk about that more instead of just framing it as some end of your life, like end of your youth and fun. Just don't live like that. That's so self-sabotaging, and then you sabotage the others around you because you project. But yeah, I have a paper here of some drawings of the BCD characters. But my mom's forcing me to get a job this summer. You're only going to be a sophomore. Dude, chill. Like, I Oh my god. No matter what happens, just know you don't have to rush into it, even if people act like you do. Especially when you get into senior year, they might say, hey, money, yeah, that's true. And when you get into senior year, people are probably going to be like, oh, graduate, and like they put all this pressure on you, but it's okay. You don't have to start right away. All right, it's take your time. Your life isn't over. They treat it like once you're an adult, like you have a limited amount of time, but you really don't. And it's hard to get out of that because society, I mean, I'm right though, okay? Society like implements it so hard, you know? So it can be hard to like ignore. I applied for McDonald's and they didn't want me for real. Damn, no one wants you for real. I'm saying, like, I had a whole interview and everything. It's okay, though. Oh, yeah, rejection is something you're going to have to face. So, basically, I drew the BCD characters. However, they're very altered here. They're not the same as their normal designs because I Splatoonified them. I've been getting really into, like, you know, one of the funnest things ever, I kind of mentioned this on a stream, but isn't it so fun to like imagine characters like your original characters or your favorite characters playing games that you like? I love thinking about that. Every obsession that I have, every phase that I go through, I always imagine my favorite characters playing those games. I used to brain rot about the Simpsons characters playing Toontown together. It was fun. It was really fun, actually. It was a great time passer for my brain. And lately, the thing for me has been Undertale and Deltarune characters playing Splatoon because I've been crazy into Splatoon. And it's so fun to me. And I'm actually making like little drawings and doodles based on it now. So that's fun. And speaking of that, I've been drawing my original characters playing Splatoon. So I have like these little Splatoonified BCD characters. If you don't know what Splatoon is, basically it's a Splatoonification over Yassification. True. Does anyone here play Splatoon or like know what it's about? Because it's very fun. I think it's a very fun game. I'm really glad that I got it. Show me the BCD drawings. Okay, I will. All right, here we go. I need to play Splatoon again. I've been stuck at level 40 for like a year. I'm level 52, baby, and I've been using the splatter scope a lot lately, and I'm so awesome. I'm not awesome, but like, yeah. Okay, here, let's talk about this. These aren't like totally accurate to their designs, but they're close. Like their face shape and their eye shape and all that. So we got Matilda using the splatter shot, which is the default weapon. And there are actually meanings behind all these. I'll get into that. She's the only one that's outlined because she was the farthest I got. And then I gave up. But yeah. Jennifer. We got Jennifer. I'm so happy with Jennifer. I just want to say, like, in development, Jennifer was going to be so mean and horrible, and, like, I just don't like that anymore. Like, she's 15, okay? And I villainized her way too much, so now she's just chilling. Jennifer's nice. She's cool. I like Jennifer. I'm so tired of, like, why did I villainize her so much? Why did I make her so evil? Anyways, Jennifer's using the splat roller. Chris is also using the splatter shot. Scarlet, my beloved, is using the splatter scope like I do, and Hazel is using a splatling. I don't even know why, she just is. And Edna here is using a splatbrella, and that's all I got. We still have Cindy and Eliza, but I didn't, yeah. I like Jennifer now. We cool, for real. Yay, let's go. They all have their goods and bads, you know? Some of them worse than others, but we'll get to that. It's funny because, like, now Matilda's infinitely worse than Jennifer. She's not evil, but she has some things to work out, all right? She's got problems. Oh, I love writing the development for the characters, though. For real, what is it with people thinking antagonists had to be a Satan spawn? That's just called being young, man. That's called being a young and immature writer. That's how I was. I always made them so evil. Gwen was, like, the only one I tried to redeem. It's so funny how Mary was, like, oh, and I villainized drugs so much, too. Like, all the characters who did drugs in my videos were, like, so evil. Like, Mary's literally a 15-year-old girl, and it seems like she's being kind of low-key groomed by this person to do, like, to drink alcohol, or whoever that person was in Abnormal Pain. I don't know. Anyway, it's so funny because now, especially because the series is set in, like, Prime of Your Life is set in the 90s now, and it's set in middle school. It's so funny. They're so much more, like, childish now. It's so funny. It's such whiplash. Like, it's great. The way it all started because they bumped into each other in a hallway. I know, that's so funny. Now, like, this isn't really spoilers. I think it just says something about their characters. She doesn't understand social cues very much, and sometimes she can just say things that she does not like. She can't like translate her thoughts into words often. She actually she is autistic. I'm writing her as an autistic character on the spectrum. So I've been researching that. I love like psychology and looking into like disorders and like mental illnesses and like stuff like that and like all the things like that. So I've been looking into a lot of stuff like that, trying to get some representation and do it solid. So I've been doing research for that. Sheila Goodwill. Okay, yes, that is the thing that's happening. I actually did like start getting into early development because I was really bored in school and I didn't feel like working on BCD or anything else. So I got like really early development there, but barely anything. And I don't want to spoil it because it's all like really spoilery for like the whole series. So I could share the characters, but I don't really know what they're like even yet. So it's very early in development. So I'd love another video of analyzing an old series. I did start analyzing the Camp Riverwood remake. I know people probably want it on other series already. I do too. But that would be nice to get out of the way. I think the remake deserves a video of its own. My main character's mom is bipolar and a narcissist. Abuse core. No. Oh, boy. Yeah, I think it's always important to do deep research into that stuff, especially if you don't deal with it yourself, because it can be really hard to have a grasp on that. Like, you truly can't understand what it's like. So, very important to do research. And I've been doing that with Sally. I have quite a little collection of neurodivergent characters, actually, including Melody, Mindy, Sally, I think, yeah, Eliza. Who else? There's probably some others. Chris too. So that's nice. I've gotten like a little collection there. That's my first time even saying that. So there you go. There's some fun facts right there. Let's see. Okay, so first let's go ahead and I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. I know I am, but that's the way it is. I don't have notes with me. So let's talk about this Splatoonified BCD cast right here. So Matilda had a splatter shot. A splatter shot is the default weapon in Splatoon. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's actually a pretty good weapon. I also love that talking about Camp Riverwood video. I'd love to see one for BCD. Yep, I got all the notes for it. And I'll actually vaguely talk about it in this, vaguely, I don't know. I'll talk about it a little bit in this stream because that'll be fun. And I want to rant about Mindy and Matilda's dad. And I can't believe I liked them so much in the past because they suck. So, anyways, let's talk about these Splatoonified BCD characters. So, and we could talk about like what could fit for my other characters too, from like JP and PYL. That would be nice. JP might still get a name change in the future. BCD has a perfect name. And PYL I'm pretty happy with too, but JP might get a change in the future. Just Petty just seems a little weird to me, but for now, that's just the name. That's what we're calling it. Working on a series of mine. I haven't got the LPS for it yet, and the story is still a work in progress right now. That sounds pretty cool, dude. That sounds pretty cool. I wish you good luck on that. I'm sure you'll do great. Let's see. It's okay. I could process it better when you talk a lot and then get enthusiastic and switch quickly. Because if you kept talking about the same thing for 2 hours, yeah, I get that too. Like, I'm glad that you can understand that way, because some people think that it's too much or you're going too fast, but like, it's just the pace that I work at. I thought I was the only one who abbreviated my series. Nah, it's easier to abbreviate, man. All right, let's go. Matilda with the splatter shot. Splatter shot is the default weapon in Splatoon, or Splatoon 2. I don't know a lot about Splatoon 1, so we're just going off Splatoon 2 here. I'm also planning to pre-order Splatoon 3. So the splatter shot is like the default weapon, and the reason Matilda mains it, in like a hypothetical sense, if she were to play Splatoon, she is afraid. It symbolizes how she's afraid to step out of her comfort zone and open up to new options and opportunities or other people. She would be the type to like feel bad whenever she killed someone, but also simultaneously get super pissed if her team starts losing. So she like can't exactly decide where to stand on that. She gets really defensive. Are we gonna get a Splatoon gameplay on live? Man, I could, but like with the motion controls, I have no idea how that would look. I could try it right now, but I have Animal Crossing on my Switch and I don't feel like switching it. So my series is called The Happy Medium and it's about anxiety. That's so cool. I like that name. That's a neat name. That's so cool. Keep us updated, man. And yeah, Matilda also deals with hardcore anxiety. So I've also had to like look into like social anxiety disorder. I've been doing a lot of research. I'm actually going to research what Mississippi is like because I've been doing it that in depth. You know what I mean? Like the characters live in Mississippi. I'm sorry. I should stop. I want to talk about this real quick. I'm sorry. I keep going all over the place. But Matilda, splatter shot, default weapon. She doesn't like to step out of her comfort zone. Yada yada yada. Jennifer means the splat roller. I don't exactly like. Sometimes it's just a vibe. Like I think the splat roller like just vibes with Jennifer. You know, like she just vibes with it. It's her favorite weapon. She's a roller user. Jennifer Kinney moment. Yay! I seriously missed everything you said because my device has horrible Wi-Fi. I'm so sorry for that. But yeah, rollers are great. I do love rollers. Jennifer Kin, let's go. I love rollers, but okay, I'll just say this real quick. So my main at first, I think, what was my first main? I deadass can't remember anymore. What? No, I'm so distraught. Why can't I remember my first main? I am so distraught over this. Oh, arrow spray. Oh my gosh. I know the splat roller isn't the best, but I'm so comfortable with it at this point. That's fine. Don't do what I did where you're like, I have to learn the other weapons. You don't have to. It's fine. No one cares. Like it's all right. You use whatever you want. The splat roller is fun. And plus I think any weapon could be really good if you practice and use it a lot. So you're on your way to be a great splat roller. You know what I mean? Carbon roller gang. I do like the carbon roller. It's hard for me, man. It's hard for me. I get so salty when I use the dynamo or the Luna blaster and it doesn't kill someone in one hit. Like, what is this? That's the whole thing about this weapon. It's supposed to be powerful. Especially the Luna blaster. That's nonsense. How close do I have to be? It doesn't even have that much range to begin with. Nonsense. Anyways, I started out maining the Aerospray MG. It's the gray one, the silver one, which gets way too much hate. I like it, okay? Splooshomatic sucks. I don't like that one, but I like the Aerospray. And then, actually, that was my main before that, Splooshomatic and then Aerospray. And then I moved on to, I think, I started using a bunch of things. I think I moved on to the ink brush for like a short period of time. I'm like, oh my god, I love this. I love like pressing the button super fast. And I still love doing that if I'm like really hyper like I am right now. It's a really great outlet for me and a good exercise for my finger. So, can't stand chargers actually. Can't stand using them or going against them. Because both for me. And yeah, I'm like maining one right now. So, let's see. I used to despise using the charger. I hated using it. I was like, this is the worst weapon ever, and this is horrible. Why would anyone use this? But now I love it. Both. I don't blame you. It's so frustrating and pressuring to go against one, even though I am one. So I can empathize, definitely. It's hard. Like, I try to just, like, if someone's beating my ass at it, I'm like, well, good for them. You know, I try to say good for them. And that's what I've been trying to do when playing competitively. Just try to be happy for the other people. It kind of makes me feel better and less angry. So, but yeah, let's see. Ink brush for like a super short period of time. Then I went into the heavy splatling for a good chunk of time. Heavy splatling I still really like. Really fun. And then I went on to, I think then I moved right on to chargers, right? I don't know. I kind of went all over the place for a little bit. And now I started like practicing splat chargers a lot. Oh, then I discovered the magic of the Squiffer. Oh, beautiful. It's a sniper, but you can also be such a try-hard, obnoxious try-hard with it. I don't know why I said it twice. Like, oh my god, it's so annoying and I love it. Dude, the Squiffer's fun. And I was actually really good at it too. I was so proud. I got like 15 kills on a turf war game with a Squiffer. It was awesome. That's my best sniper round I've ever played. We won. We won. Of course we did. I carried that game back home, baby. Splat Charger's all right. And then I was like, I've been watching a lot of Splatoon videos. And I was like, literally dies Stroglix. Good for them. I forget that's my username sometimes. But then I was like, I watched Splatoon videos of people using the scope. And I'm like, which is when it like zooms in and everything around you closes out. I thought that would be super hard and I would never be able to do it. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, but then I'm like, it kind of looks fun. Let's just try it. And then I think I got like 7 kills on my first game and it was awesome. I mean, I had some experience from just using the Splat Charger, but the Splatter Scope, I actually ended up being surprisingly good with. I was so happy, and I'm still happy. Like, I've been pretty good with it, and now I'm getting real practice. I took it into one ranked battle. That was a mistake. I still got a couple kills, but Jesus Christ. I still hate going up against other chargers, especially with the Scope, because I can't hold the charge, but jeez, dude, that was awesome. I'm so happy about that. So, yeah, I'm kind of a Splatter Scope main now. I love Marina. She's so sweet. And I love her and Pearl. They're so sweet together. I love them so much. Especially in the Octo expansion. You're making me want to play Splatoon. It's fun. We should all get together and play one day, dude. Like, one day when we all have like our own lives and we have like control over it and stuff, we can like make time to like come together and like play games together. That would be so cool. Perlina Supremacy, so true. I love that. What were we talking about? What were we talking about? Okay. This is 40 minutes long? Because hear me out. Okay, I'm hearing you out. Okay? Oh, man. Okay, Jennifer Splat Roller. That's right. We were talking about this. They give off gate. They do. I'm hearing you out. I've loved them, dude. I drew them like once digitally, and I've lost all those drawings, so that's annoying. But like, did I talk about that? I don't know if I mentioned that on a stream. I had like hundreds of drawings and files and works in progress stuff, and then like my mom deleted that account because she didn't realize I was using it. It was my sister's account. And so I lost all of that, but it was kind of nice to get a fresh start. I actually ended up not being that bad because I sent a lot of my works in progress to my Discord chat so I could get it from there and then like save it, or like sometimes it would be like poor quality, so I could just trace over it. I could save and then trace over it. But yeah. So that sucked. I lost all my drawings, but it's fine. It actually ended up not being that bad because a lot of the stuff on there I wasn't even going to finish. So whatever. We got it. That's funny. Like, I think I've done that before where I like lose a ton of stuff. And then it just ends up being like, it's like weird how this doesn't feel that bad. And then I expect that it's going to feel bad eventually. And it did, like, slowly sink in what actually happened. It did slowly sink in. Oh, man. But, yeah, the homophobic dog. I can't get enough of that, man. Oh, jeez. But, yeah, Jennifer as a Splat Roller main, it just makes sense. She just got those vibes. Like, it's got a perfect balance of you can run people over, chat is really active this stream. For real, let's go. Hi, guys. I know what you are. What are you talking about? But yeah, Jennifer, even dogs now, not too fond of the games. It's just not natural. Bit fruity. I love this chat right now. So Jennifer, when she, I think she would use a Splat Roller, you can run people over. Basically, it's this big fat roller. You can just run people over it with it straight up and just kill them like that. You can kill them in one hit if you're close enough. It's got like a vertical swing. And it's good at covering ground, so it's got like a lot of power. It's great. You can kill multiple people and cover a bunch of ground with ink, for real. I love the roller. It's great. Like, that's a great weapon. I love it. Getting run over is so embarrassing. Yeah, it's the panic when like a roller is approaching you when you're a charger. And then I keep missing them because I'm an idiot. Who still wants episode 30 of LPS Poppy the Girl? I am still waiting. All right, I'm still waiting. But if Sophie doesn't want to finish it, that's okay. I just don't think you should be around my children. Are we still going with this? But yeah, I feel like Jennifer would just like that. And I think she'd specifically like the splat roller. I just feel like it's the perfect balance. It's kind of like, y'all literally fixed my mood. Let's go. I'm so happy. I'm glad. Sometimes you need to be around people who are like, who are outgoing, and then you kind of, it rubs off on you. I get like that sometimes. That really helps sometimes. I almost got ran over, almost died, core. I love this. I love these cores. Make a mood board about getting run over. Not in this house. But yeah, the splat roller is like the default roller, and it's like, you can just like, it's like the perfect balance of covering ground. You could just run people over with it. You could just hit it. You hit people. But it's got like an average speed. It's got, you know, it's not like the strongest, but it's certainly not the weakest. It's just the perfect balance for Jennifer. She likes balance and things. So I guess that doesn't make sense. Chris also uses a splatter shot because Chris actually wouldn't have a main. He's kind of all over the place like me. He'll use all kinds of different weapons. He's good with everything. Well, he's not good at everything, but he's fine with everything, you know, like he's mentally good with it. Like, okay, I'm good with that. Like, that's what I mean when I say that. He's not actually very good at the game at all. But he's not like super invested. If he was invested, he could become a god at it. If Chris is invested in anything, he will become a god at it. Chris, here's a fun fact about Chris. He loves travel. I just gave that quality to him, and I think it's so sweet. Chris actually has ADHD, so like when he has like a hyperfixation like travel, he will become a god. He can become a god at it. He has all the knowledge. He plans to travel the whole world, and like I've kind of been trying to like write neurodivergent characters better. I don't know why I said better. I don't think I had really any in the past. I don't think I really had any of that like solid representation in there. Maybe some of them had that coding, but like it wasn't intentional. So I don't know. God core. Oh, this is amazing. Are these cores gonna become like a running joke now? Let's go. A new running gag on the streams. So happy about that, man. All right, so Chris, like I was saying, so that's just a fun fact. He likes travel and loves travel actually. He is travel, so he's travel. With Splatoon, he wouldn't be like super invested in it. Goofy, yeah. I love that you're trying to give him recognition. Hell yeah, man, I'm all for the representation. Let's go. I also have like, some of my characters have canon sexualities, but not all of them. So I've been trying to get, like, a lot of them I kind of leave up for interpretation because I want people to like have their ships and whatnot, you know. I'm all in support of that as long as it's not like incest or pedophilia. Obviously, that's obvious. I'm no pro shipper, but I'm also not an anti shipper by any means of the imagination. People are so mean to ships. Just let people have fun, you know. Just chill out, all right? You know what I mean? Like, people are so uptight. All right, come on. Shark core. Speaking of core, I actually genuinely do love Kid Core. That's like my favorite thing. I was obsessed with Splatoon for months, then I got into either Animal Crossing or Pokemon again. Let's go. Dude, I missed out on your Splatoon obsession. I guess I was just oblivious to it. I'm so sorry. I should have been there. But I don't think I had the game back then. So Chris, with the splatter shot, Chris doesn't main anything, but he might like use the splatter shot just because his girlfriend uses it, so he might use it too. Scarlet, using the splatter scope is perfect. Don't. Fish core. How fascinating, Simon. How fascinating. I don't know if that was that active on Discord during my Splatoon phase. Oh, I see. Dream stands. Okay, actually, let me just say this. I've been watching the Dream SMP. I've been watching it through Blueberry TV, which is a channel that uploads all the parts. I've gotten to basically the start of L'Manberg, and I actually think it's really interesting. It's starting to get real, dude. I think it's really cool. Like, I get it's popular to hate, but I mean, that sucks when things get popular, so everybody just automatically hates them. That sucks. But I think it's genuinely really cool that like people brought a whole story out of just a simple game. You know, so yeah, I think it's really interesting so far. When it got to the white flag speech, I was thrown off. Like, I sort of tuned out a little bit. Hearing L'Manberg come out of your mouth is jarring. Man, like, and sorry, I'm dream sexual. I hate being in the DSMP fan, and the people are so scary. Yeah, that happens. It happens, but I think there are like really. I think it is really cool so far. I kind of tuned out for a little bit, you know, because I just do that, especially when watching or listening to something for a long time. But then like the white flag speech came on, and I'm like, I'm still like there, and then like as they're yelling, it's like, whoa, hold on, and then like it just ends. That episode ends with that speech, and he's like, you are dead, and I'm like, oh shit, let's go, and I had to keep watching after that. So yeah, that was crazy. That was like the first instance where I was like, oh shit, okay, we're getting there. All right. Let me just finish this real quick because this is driving me nuts. I'm bad at this. I'm very distracted today. Scarlet using the splatter scope is perfect. Let me explain why. So the splatter scope is a sniper weapon, and snipers in Splatoon are terrifying. And Scarlet's changed quite a bit, actually. She's really nice and sweet, of course, but like when she's disappointed in somebody, you know those people who are like really nice people where if you disappoint them, you just feel like the scum of the earth. Like, you really had to mess up for that to happen. That's Scarlet. That's Scarlet right there. So, and when she gets mad, she's, like, low-key scary. She's like, low-key terrifying when she gets mad. And it's so rare, too. So, like, I feel like it's fitting for her to be a sniper because they're terrifying. And also, the splatter scope specifically is perfect because the zoom in on your target and everything else around you being closed out kind of represents a big part of her character where she's so focused on her like goals or aspirations, and so that and then like she accidentally ignores everything around her, which in a way is sort of ironic because sniper players are usually very aware of their surroundings even if they're using a scope, but still, you know what I mean? So splatter scope's perfect for her. She will also use the E-liter scope. Whatever it is, if it's a scope, she'll use it, but yeah. And then we have Hazel. I drew her with a splatling for some reason, but honestly, Hazel has zero main. She does not main anything. She actually despises routine so much, and it gets her depressed so easily. So she does different things all the time. Like, she's always trying to switch stuff up. Do you still plan on getting your dream beagle for Sheila Goodwill? Yes, I love that beagle. Thanks for reminding me. Now that I'm like going into adulthood, I can start looking into that. My birthday is coming up, so I am asking for a couple things. I'm asking for the Mean Girls DVD, Splatoon 3, the pre-order, and I'm also just asking for a bunch of general Undertale Deltarune merch on fangamer.com. Oh, I'm so hyped for the Spamton plush. It's mine, dude. I'm getting it, I swear. It's gonna sell out immediately. It's gonna be so tragic. Oh, it doesn't matter how many copies they make. I read Beagle as Bagel and I was so confused. I love bagels. Bagels are so good. Bagels and cream cheese are like kind of like nostalgic to me. They're very nostalgic to me, actually. Are you going to abuse him like Sans? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. No hesitation. The moment I even unbox him from the package, he's going right into the road. Can you imagine looking outside and seeing some kid throwing a Spamton plush around? Should I get more LPS? I kind of want to get into the fandom again. Let's go. Do it, man. Do whatever makes you happy. Anyway, Hazel with the Splatling. I don't know why I drew her with the Splatling. She changes weapons like every single round, let's be honest. Throwing my Spamton pin out the window right now. I gotta get the pins too. I love pins. I need to get pins. Spamton in the road. What crimes will he commit? Every crime in the world. Didn't Cartman from South Park commit like every crime ever? Or not? Like, how many crimes are there? Like, specifically just in the U.S. Tax evasion, yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah, he would. Oh, Spamton, my beloved. He's great. Oh, no! Ah! Guys, I was going to organize my kins on a stream, but I forgot to make the list. I'm not going to be able to remember all of them. Okay, one day. That would be so fun to like evaluate on a stream. Oh, dude. Oh, well. There are many crimes I know because I've done them all. All right, whatever. We can do that another time. Hazel does not have a main in Splatoon. I don't know why I drew her with the heavy Splatling. I feel like she would like the heavy Splatling, though. I could say she would like the Hydra Splatling, but that one takes like 19 years to charge up, so I don't think she'd have the patience for that. She's like me, so she can go for the balanced heavy Splatling. But I think she also really liked the Tri-Slosher. Tri-Slosher is very OP. I love it a lot. It's great, and it's super overpowered, and it's cool. So yeah, I like the Tri-Slosher. I think she would really love that. She would go crazy for that. But she doesn't have a main, you know. I just think those might be her favorites. Edna with the... Oh, that's not a Splatbrella, actually. That's an Undercover Brella. Edna would... That's perfect for Edna. Let me explain. So Edna, right? Let me explain what the Undercover Brella is, first of all. Oh, my God. I got this drink called Pedialyte that I'm drinking so that I can have electrolytes in preparation for my Disney trip. It tastes really funky now. It tastes really weird. It doesn't expire for another year, but it tastes really whack. It tastes like something. I can't exactly put my hand on it or finger on it, but yeah, Edna. The Undercover Brella is basically a weapon in Splatoon that is like, it's a shield as well as a weapon. Most Brellas in the game, like when you hold down ZR, it'll like hold out as a shield for a second and then it'll launch forward. And like it'll just drift forward, covering the ground and also pushing people. However, the Undercover Brella doesn't do that. When you hold down ZR with the Undercover Brella, it just keeps shooting rapidly. Because like I said, it works as both a shield and a weapon. The Undercover Brella works really well for Edna because she'll shield herself, like try to mask any vulnerability that she has and like appear tough and stuff like that. And like the rapid shooting through the shield is like really fitting for her character. Because like she'll always act big and like she'll go out and like rapidly insult people and like harass people, but while like trying to mask her vulnerability. But also, if anyone like gets even slightly cross with her or stands up to her even a little bit, she can like break down and her mask will slip and she'll start to break down. So she's a mess. Pandemic whore. Also, that fits too because the Undercover Brella is actually pretty weak, and if you just hit it a little bit, it'll break. The shield will break, so it is the perfect weapon. It embodies Edna. There's also Mindy, Cindy, and Eliza. Mindy, she's kind of like Jennifer, where just her vibes, like the end zap, I just feel like she'd use the end zap. It's a standard shooter weapon. It's pretty good. I should use it more, actually, but yeah, that's all there is to it. Now, Cindy would use the Luna Blaster. The Luna Blaster has, like, no range or fast fire rate. It's very slow. However, it can kill in one shot easy. if you get close enough to people and you're good with it, it can be pretty overpowered. So let me explain why Cindy fits the Luna Blaster so well. Because basically, Cindy will get like so up close and personal with people. Like she'll be so intense with people. That's kind of like the Luna Blaster, pretty like up close and intense. So Cindy will like act big with that, and like she sort of like Edna, but she doesn't like. I wouldn't say she would use the Brella because she doesn't like mask her vulnerability really. She's more real with people. She's not afraid to get real with people. And what else was it? Like, oh, the Luna Blaster, the fact that it can kill in one shot. She is so like fierce with people. She could be an asshole. So yeah, I think that really fits with her. And it doesn't have a lot of range because you have to get like up close, so that's also like what I said. So yeah, and then also finally Elizabeth, like I said, like Eliza's changed a lot. I applied her personality to Bridget from PYL, so her personality now, like, I'm still developing it, but she's kind of a doormat now. She's a bandwagoner, which is, like, the opposite of how she used to be. She bandwagons on a popular opinion and, like, tries to follow what everyone else thinks because she craves people's approval, because she really craves friends, because she never knows how to keep them. Eliza would pretty much use what everyone else is using, but everyone else is using different things, so I think Eliza's kind of intimidated by Scarlet, and she is besties with Matilda, so she would probably use a splatter shot with Matilda and Chris, like they all do, the trio with their splatter shots, but she would have a really hard time countering Scarlet's splatter scope, so I think she would, like, constantly die to her, so she'd probably try to use a sniper, but be really bad at it because she has, like, no practice or experience and she's just forcing it and it's not for her at all. It's hard to say what she would do if she didn't, like, just bandwagon on what other people would do. That's a big thing that I've been kind of doing. Like, a lot of characters in BCE, like, the big thing about a lot of them is they've changed so much due to the people around them and, like, brainwashing and, like, trauma that, like, it's hard to tell what the real them would even do or act like. And I think that's a big thing that's going to be up for interpretation. There's a lot of things in BCD. It's going to be a very analytical series, like something you can really look into and analyze. There's so many little details in it, and I'm going to give you guys so much content with every episode, so much potential. It's going to be so awesome, and there's going to be so much to look into, and so much lore. Good Lord, there's so much lore, or should I say, good lore. Anyway, So, yeah, that's going to be really fun, really exciting. What was I saying? I completely lost all my attention just like that. Oh, yeah, okay, so yeah, that'll be really fun. And then Elizabeth, I was going to mention this too. So, as far as the by the characters now, I'm working on it. I do have most of them. I just had to get Scarlet and Hazel eventually. And I still need Edna. I ruined her old LPS. I still need her. That's unbelievable. I bet all the stuff on my eBay save list is gone now. But anyway, so a little bit, and it inspired their characters. Like Splatoonifying the BCD characters have helped me develop them a little bit further, actually, which is really interesting. So that's fun. And I'm glad that I'm able to do that. I am unstoppable and overpowered. So anyways, let's talk a little bit more about Disney because that's happening super soon. Currently, I'm washing a blanket. I'm washing a blanket that I'm going to take onto the bus tomorrow since we're going to drive 5 hours there. We're allowed to take blankets and pillows. So I got my pillow over here, washing a blanket, and it's this really fluffy blanket. It's going to be great. We're going to go on the bus and we're going to go to Disneyland. We're going to go to Disneyland. I'm going to ride all the rides. We're going to go to Disneyland. I'm going to ride all the rides. And it's so cool that I'm going to have like more control. Are any of your characters people of color? More control? Are any of your characters people of color? Yes, in like their human form, but I don't draw their human form often. I just draw like furry versions, or like, yeah, mostly furry versions because they're based off LPS. As for like human characters that I have, there's this project that I don't know if I've mentioned, but it's called Just a Game, and it's inspired originally by Murder Mystery 2 on Roblox, but I'm gonna make it more different now. Basically, all these people like playing games together. They don't know like the real each other like over screen, but I still have to like design their characters for the most part, so I'm not even exactly sure about those. But if we're talking human versions of my LPS characters, we have Melody, Sally, we have Monica, let's see, Chris, Scarlett, let's see, what other characters do I have? I'm bad at keeping track, so I hope this isn't like rude that I'm forgetting. I also just don't draw the human versions very often, so that's another thing. But yeah, those are a couple of them. Let's see, Disney. So I am so hyped for Disney. I can't believe I'm going to Disney tomorrow, dude. 24 hours. I'm already gonna have been in the park for hours. 24 hours from now. That's crazy. That's crazy to think about. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. What time is it? It's like 3:30? Dude, in 12 hours, I have to be at school. In 12 hours, I'm going to be at the school, and we're going to be getting ready. And we're going to be going. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. And like, oh my gosh. Okay, so I have money with me too. So I'm going to get to eat what I want. I might buy some merch. They're really expensive there though, so I'm not sure. I'm probably going to get like desserts and cool stuff like that. I gotta get at least one souvenir, you know? So I'm really excited. The most important thing is buying food. Disney. I talked about Disney on quite a few streams, actually. So, wow, I could probably make a compilation at this point of all the times that I've talked about Disney. I've been really into it since, like 2018 when we went to Disneyland for one day. Are you going to Disneyland or Disney World? I'm going to Disneyland for one day. We're going to take a bus there for grad night. One of those rare days when I'm awake for Aladdin streams. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, boy. We're talking about how I'm adulting. Gosh, I've been streaming for so long, I kind of got out of that zone, but today was my last full day of school. Oh, I gotta tell you guys, I gave a couple of my teachers gifts. I was like, I've never really done that for my teachers, so my dad got the gifts. I actually don't even know exactly what was in them, but they were like candy and they had like a note for the teachers. I thought we were gonna go shopping together, and then he just brought something back on his own, so I'm like, okay. So I got like little chocolates for my teachers, two of them, my English 12 teacher and my geometry teacher. I mentioned before that I had an English 11 teacher and an English 12 teacher. English 11 teacher sucked. English 12 teacher, very happy with her. She was so cool and she was so nice. And on our last day together yesterday, we were crying and like, oh, it was so sweet. And then we took a class picture together. Oh, it was so nice. Oh my gosh, it was so awesome. And then let's see. Today I brought my geometry teacher. My English 12 teacher gifts. They were so nice about it. They were so sweet. I just wanted to show them how much I appreciated them as teachers. So I'm glad that I did that after all these years. I did quite a few things this year that I never did in any of my previous years, such as, like give my teachers gifts, goodbye gifts to remember them by. Probably going to follow my English 12 teacher on social media, keep in touch. I went through a hard lockdown. All the good stuff, going to Disney for grad night, all the good essential stuff that you need to experience in school. Slay! So yeah, that was really fun. This backpack, I don't even need this anymore, man. That's crazy. I don't need none of this. Here's Splatoon 2, by the way. I have it in my backpack. It's a miracle, and I never got my Switch or anything stolen at school. Let's be honest. That's crazy. I want to see a snack that I brought back. Love a good hard lockdown for the high school experience. I know. They had these snacks at school. Oh, it is open. Oopsies, I'm gonna have to vacuum later. The bottom got open. Oh well. So I got these snacks. These ones are called ZZ's birthday cake grams. And I'm just realizing how funny that is. But they're actually really good. They're pretty sweet, but they're pretty damn good. Lockdown core. I love that this is becoming a running joke here. Oh man, that's great. But yeah, those are. I'm gonna miss these snacks that we used to get, and like I'm gonna miss the lunch being handed to us. I love those. Yeah. Hey, let's go. I should try to like find them because I don't know where they are. I've never seen them except at school. So yeah, I should try to get some of my own. I'm gonna be able to like buy what snacks I want and stuff. Oh my gosh, I'm off. It's crazy that my life is my own now. Like, oh my god. Like, I can't believe it. Like, I'm just living on my own. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, man. Yay, man, that's crazy. Like, oh my gosh, it's so awesome. Like, there's gonna be so much that happens this week. I'm going to grad night. I'm going to this event called Senior Sunset, where like during the sunset, all the seniors get together and sign each other's yearbooks and stuff. I wasn't originally gonna go to it, but then I think my English 12 teacher is expecting to see me there, so I guess I'm going. I don't have a yearbook, but just gonna hang out, watch the sunset, and that'll be cool. Growing up core, let's go. And then when I'm going to graduation practice and then actual graduation, of course. And then in 1 week, we're moving. That just hit me like a truck. In 1 week, we're moving. I have some work to do. Oh my god, I have so much work to do. Where on earth do I begin? Jesus. Oh my god. This is insane. Oh my god, this shouldn't be okay. This should not even be okay. Whoa, dude. I'm looking through some old drawings right now. I just pulled them out, and wow. I'm just kind of like reminiscing a little bit. Just kind of looking at old stuff. Dude, was that was sophomore year that I was into The Simpsons? Sophomore year? Why does sophomore... Like, The Simpsons phase feels like 2 years ago, which it was. But when I say sophomore year, that feels like it was 4 years ago. That's so weird. Whoa. Oh my god, I spilled water on one of these and it ended up being a disaster. Well, anyways, like, I think, like, sometimes, like, a certain time period doesn't feel like it was that long ago until, like, you compare it to something else. Like, sometimes I would say, like, man, it doesn't feel like I'm gonna be an adult, like, by the end of this year and, like, having a job and stuff. But then I think about, like, this calendar thing that I've been doing where I draw something at the end of each month. And then I think, like, whoa, that's going to be so soon. That's so weird. You know what I mean? I do that all the time. Like, man, that's crazy. I don't know what else to say. I got my cap and gown. I got Disney. I should probably start preparing. I got to watch the Goofy movie today. I watched the Goofy movie on the, like, towards the end of my freshman year. So now I got to watch it at the end of my senior year, dude. I probably watched it at the end of, like, my sophomore year, too, maybe. I don't remember. But my English teacher showed it to us in freshman year, and I'm really happy about that because now I am going to watch it again at the end of my senior year today. Wow. I wonder what I'm going to do with my life. Well, this has been a fun philosophical stream where we talked about Splatoon and got off track a million times. Thank